Today, Parliament questions Nbert Mao, the Minister for Constitutionalism. Why Nbert Mao, the Minister for is still Constitutionalism? Yet the High Court ordered is still in his prison. Yet the High Court ordered for his release and all political prisoners.
For Dr. Besigye, what steps have you taken to comply with the Supreme Court? What steps have you taken to comply with the Supreme Court directive? 5. How long will we take to conclude the transfer of all? How long will we take to conclude involving the transfer of all from the General Court Martial involving civilians from the General Court Martial to the civilian courts? 6. What sustainable action have been taken to address the concerns surrounding the health of Dr. Besigye? As a House of Representatives, we are a voice of the voiceless. We are a voice of the voiceless. We are elected to speak for those people out there who cannot. We are elected to speak for those people out there. If we cannot do that, cannot be in this house. We are not if we cannot do that, then the continued not representing our people. Detention of unwell suspected, the continued of dangerous detention of unwell suspected set that may be applied to sets a dangerous precedence that may be applied to any injustice to anyone is injustice to everybody. Injustice to anyone is injustice to everybody. Today it is happening to Dr.
I agree with you.
There is need to explore and appropriate.
I agree with you.
There is need to explore and appropriate, if necessary, modalities of than keeping the ailing suspect, if necessary, unfavorable conditions, than keeping the ailing suspect potentially be fatal in unfavorable conditions. I am aware there are legal regimes that I am aware there are legal regimes that on treatment of suspects govern the pre-trial with detention, peculiar suspects, notably the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, 1995, the Constitution of Uganda, 1995 on Indictment Act, and the trial on Indictment Act, 1971. I'm aware that the presiding officer previous members. I'm aware that the presiding officer of this matter on 28th January, some aspects of this matter. On 28th January, on 25th February, and I will not revise on 6th his guidance February, on that. And I will not revise. I will therefore his guidance on that. Invoke Rule 25(1). I will therefore the rules of procedure. Invoke Rule 25(1) of the rules of procedure and receive an update. To accommodate from the Minister of Justice and receive an update from the Minister of Justice and Internal Affairs, from the Attorney General, from the Minister of Internal Affairs, on the questions I have from asked. The Attorney General on the questions I have asked. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, this morning I had a conversation with the Commissioner General. This morning of the Uganda Prison Service with the Commissioner General. Find out the current of the Uganda Prison Service of Colonel. Find out the current situation of Colonel Kiza. He told me the following. As of today, he told me the following. Colonel Kiza Besigye, as of today, has been on hunger strike. Colonel Kiza Besigye, for 6 days, has been on hunger strike. This is his 7th day. 6 days. He is only taking water. 7th day. He's not eating any food. He is only taking water. He's not eating any food. The Commissioner General informed me that because of the hunger strike, that because his health of the hunger strike, and therefore his health to be evacuated, and therefore he had to be evacuated to his personal doctor took charge of the evacuation. His personal doctor took charge of the evacuation. Colonel Besigye's in the presence of Dr. Olive Besigye's sister, Dr. Olive Kobusinje. It's not appropriate for me to report details. It's not appropriate for me to report details. What was found. This is a part of the doctor-patient. What was confidentiality. This is a part of the doctor-patient. But the Commissioner General said confidentiality. Definitely. But the Commissioner General said his health condition definitely is alarming. His health condition is alarming. Under all the laws of Uganda, especially those who are having any person health issues, especially those who are having, and in this case, health issues are entitled to the prison authorities, and in this case, were able to take him. The prison authorities were comprehensive tests were carried out to the hospital. Comprehensive tests were carried out, are managing him. The Commissioner General also informed me that are managing him. Besigye, the Commissioner General also informed me that with the hunger strike. Kanokiza Besigye has continued and continues, and that means of course strike. That means of course medical response that will not have a major medical response impact. He will not have a major because of the hunger strike. He will not improve because of the hunger strike. Now, concerning your other question about the advice, the laws, about the advice we have taken, the laws, how long it will take to transfer the files we have taken, how long it will take to report the following.
Honorable Minister, just on hunger.
I wish to report the following.
Honorable Minister, just is not on hunger strike because he loves to be on hunger strike. He's not on hunger strike because he believes he's unfairly treated. He's on hunger strike because he believes he's unfairly treated. He's on unfair trial.
Madam Speaker, hunger strike is a form of protest. And I accept what hunger strike is a form of protest. He is protesting, and I accept through what you have stated. He is protesting all through history through hunger strike. Prisoners who feel all through history, they are being prisoners who feel that incarcerated have resorted to hunger strike unjustly. So, but it is not have resorted to hunger strike. But it is not detail why my papa is on hunger strike. I simply reported going to his condition why is on hunger strike. I simply reported that it is alarming. His condition, and we now permit me, Madam Speaker, that it is alarming to respond to. Now permit me, Madam Speaker,
a legal advisor to
respond to.
And after knowing that his legal advisor to government situation is alarming. After knowing that have you given government to that situation is alarming. What advice have you given
Madam
government
Speaker,
to that effect?
That is what I'm coming to. Madam Speaker, because you gave me a set of questions. That is what I'm coming to. And because you gave me a set of questions, and I would like to go through the chronology of what we have done. The judgment was to go through the chronology of what we have done. January. The judgment was delivered on 31st. Immediately January, on Monday, Madam Speaker, which was a Friday. Immediately on Monday, Madam Speaker, to the Ministry of Defense and the DPP. The Attorney General wrote the very to the Ministry of Defense and the DPP after the judgment. That is the very next working day after the judgment, informing them the Attorney General the cases should now be transferred. Informing them that the cases should now be transferred. On the 3rd, the very same day, the Attorney General also wrote to the Chief Justice the very same day the Chief Justice to appoint. The Attorney General also wrote to the Chief Judicial Officer asking the Chief Justice to be in charge of liaison, a judicial officer concerning the transfer, to be in charge of should liaison between all the transfer. That is the first working day between all the judgment. That is the first working day. On the 4th of February, after the judgment, the Chief Justice wrote back on the 4th of February, appointing the principal judge wrote back as the liaison officer. That is appointing the principal judge as the liaison officer. That is the second working day. On the 6th of February, after the judgment. On the 6th of February, Attorney General's Chambers forwarded the letter of Attorney General's Chambers to the Ministry of Defense, the letter of the Chief Veterans Affairs, and to the DPP. To the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs, and to the DPP. Madam Speaker, around that time, we were here, Madam Speaker, and I came to the floor and stated that we were here. It is the duty to the floor and stated that lawyers and the lawyers of all those who are in the court-martial lawyers and the lawyers of all those who are in the that is part of their responsibility to their client. That is part of their responsibility to their client. Only arrived on the 13th of February. This decree only arrived on the 13th of February after the judgment. Almost 2 weeks. That is when we received after the draft decree. Unfortunately, Madam Speaker, that is when the draft decree had errors. Some of the errors were Madam Speaker, the draft decree had errors. For instance, some of the errors were as obvious as wrong names. On the 14th of February, that is last Friday, on the 14th of February, corrected, that is last Friday, the Attorney General's Chambers corrected.
Do you have a copy of the decree which was
Madam Speaker, the errors were corrected and the corrected decree was sent. The errors were corrected and the corrected decree was sent to the lawyers of Besigye. We have not yet received. If we have received it as of now, we corrected it from the Ministry of Justice. If we have received it as of now, we corrected it from the Ministry of Justice. We are concerned by the slow pace. We are of Besigye's lawyers by the slow pace. I have stated lawyers. The chronology. You cannot take 2 weeks. I have stated if really the chronology. You are concerned you cannot about take 2 weeks. The condition of if your really client. You are concerned rather about than politics the condition that. Of your client. They should rather have acted as fast as Attorney General's Chambers. They should have acted as fast as Attorney General's Chambers.
Honorable Nbert Mao, that's why I was asking you. Help us to help you. Do you have the that's why wrong copy you. Do you have the decree? So that we shall not take the blame to who? Of to the decree. So that we shall not take the blame to who? To the lawyers.
Madam Speaker, I have here on my phone, Madam Speaker, which I can forward on my phone, a letter which I can forward February 14th. A letter sending back dated February 14th, corrected decree. Sending back, I can forward it. Corrected
that was
decree.
Sending back when did that was sent?
The decree came on the 13th. The very next day it was sent back. The decree came on the 13th. The very next day it was sent back. That's how fast we are, Madam Speaker. We have done our job. But those who have chosen to politic rather than we have done take our responsibility job. For the fate of their client are now playing victim. Take responsibility that is unfair, for the Madam Speaker. Their client are now playing victim. That is unfair, Madam Speaker.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Mao. Honorable Mao. The bureaucracy in addressing the directive of the bureaucracy. In addressing the directive of the Supreme Court in dispensation should not be a ground of delaying for somebody to get dispensation of this. Okay, if they delayed it to bring that, have you brought the amendment? If they delayed it to bring that, have you brought the amendment members of parliament who have delayed? Or is it we the members of parliament who have delayed? And must you continue holding the suspects? And must you outside the law continue holding the suspects because of the bureaucracy? Outside the law, they are not tried just because of the bureaucracy. Because they are not on remand. They are on pre-trial. They are not on remand.
Madam Speaker, I am on record and on the day that I am on record, the new law here on the day that I addressed the members of the new law year was opened to them to prioritize. I addressed the members of the judiciary and I appealed to them to prioritize matters. I am as concerned the liberty of citizens as any of us. I am as concerned about the liberty of citizens. I am only reporting as any of us in this chamber. A lawyer, I am only reporting who has got that a duty to a client. A lawyer who would have acted a duty very quickly to a client instead of waiting almost 2 weeks before would have acted the decree. Very quickly. It is the duty of a lawyer to extract the decree rather than spending time politicking. Of a lawyer to extract the decree rather than spending time politicking.
Honorable Nbert Mao, we do not discuss about what you have said about the lawyer. You should retract it. So what you have said about the lawyer, you should retract it. I am the custodian of the law. Because it's not here. In the house. Withdraw. I am the custodian of the law. Here. Withdraw.
Madam Speaker, I respectfully withdraw. Madam Speaker, I respectfully withdraw. Is coming. I do not know whether I can now talk about my conversation with the chairman. I do not know whether I can now talk about my conversation with the chairman of the
chairman. Just a minute, chairman.
Prosecution. Oh, I shouldn't talk about anybody.
You say the decree is coming. Chairman. In how many minutes? You say the decree is coming.
Madam Speaker, we are just across the road. We believe in less than 10 minutes it will be here. Madam Speaker, we are just across the road. We believe in less than 10 minutes.
So we'll wait for it in 10 minutes so you can continue with other questions. So we'll wait for it in 10 minutes so you can continue with other questions.
Madam Speaker, the Deputy Attorney General has already instructed our office to forward Deputy Attorney General has already instructed all the correspondences our office to forward all the letters and all the correspondences they include to. And the 3rd February letter they include to Ministry of Defense and DPP. The 3rd February letter and the letter to the Chief Justice of Defense and DPP. A liaison contact. And the letter to the Chief Justice. Then the 6th February letter, a liaison contact. Which then the 6th February letter, the CJ's letter to the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs and the CJ's letter to the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs 14th February letter, which is also coming, but which I have 14th February letter, which is also where coming, we corrected the decree and sent it back, where we corrected the decree to the lawyers and sent it back.
Now you're answering my number 5 of my question. Now you're answering my number 5 of my question. As legal advisors of government, what appropriate as legal advisors of government for the what appropriate advice have you given on detention or for the continued trial? And here I'm saying ailing Dr. Besigye. And here I'm saying ailing Dr. Besigye.
Madam Speaker, in that situation, Madam Speaker, the suspect would be produced before the appropriate court. In this case, the High Court. Suspect would be produced before the appropriate court. In this case, the High Court, and granted bail.
Has the file been transferred from court-martial to... Has the file been transferred from court-martial to civilian court, to civil court, civilian court, civilian court?
Madam Speaker, I have spoken to the chairman of the General Court-Martial. I have spoken to the chairman of the General Court-Martial, the director of prosecutions of the Court-Martial, who I also spoke to of the court-martial, and who I also spoke to, all that they are waiting for their file, and is this decree. All that they are waiting for their file is this decree. But we deny any responsibility for the late extraction we deny of the decree. Any responsibility for the late extraction of the decree.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker. Thank you very much, Speaker. This judgment was given inter partes. Right Honourable Speaker, this judgment was given inter partes, represented in a court. Government. Number 2, represented. We no longer, by the way, extract decrees. Number 2, we no longer, by the way, extract decrees. We no longer extract decrees for purposes of execution. We no longer extract decisions for purposes by nature, especially at the level of court decisions by nature, especially at the level of Supreme Court as self-executing. So if judgment was passed inter partes, so if judgment was passed inter partes, what exactly more are you looking for in a decree? From a decree. So I really think that perhaps we could use other arguments. But so I really think that perhaps we could use other arguments. With or without a decree, that judgment by the way, self-executing, with or without a decree, even without any hesitation, you ought to have acted. Because you see without any hesitation, unfortunately, you have many other people who are affected with mentioning the decree of the Supreme Court. You have many other people who are affected by that decision. What happens to them? Of the Supreme Court. What happens to lawyers? So I think what happens to them? It is advisable that Chairman Mao and the executive you use other reasons for delaying the release of Dr. Besigye other than a decree. For delaying the release of Dr. Besigye other than a decree.
And as we talk about the delayed transfer to the civilian court, release you or transfer to the civilian court. Under what legal regime? I asked you. Legal basis. Are you using to keep legal regime? Legal basis. Are you using? We are not saying that Dr. Besigye is clean. We are not saying that Dr. Besigye is clean. Answer. He could be having a case to answer. But he should be taken to the proper court for him to be able to answer. But he should be taken to the proper court for him to be able to answer. Under what legal regime? Under what legal regime?
Madam Speaker, I think it is obvious that when you have been, it is obvious remanded when by you a court have been under remanded court martial court is a court and the court martial is a court. It is only the boundaries of the court martial that have been delineated by the Supreme Court. The court martial has not been abolished by the Supreme Court. The court martial has not been abolished. The court martial is the one that remanded. The court martial is the one that now the release of Kano Kiza Besigye will be ordered by the court. Now the release of Kano Kiza Besigye will be ordered by the court, the appropriate court, when he is taken before the
Honorable Mao. Honorable Mao, when you look at Article 23 of the Constitution, Honorable Mao, when you look at Article 23 of the Constitution, personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of personal liberty. No person shall be deprived in any of the following cases. Personal liberty, in execution of the sentence, any of the following cases, or in execution of the sentence. Now here, the court ordered that Dr. Besigye should be what? Now released. Now you're depriving him his liberty.
Madam Speaker, first, I hope this Parliament is persuaded that we did our duty as the Ministry of Justice. We did our duty. Now we responded very quickly because these letters which we wrote were about the Supreme Court. Now, the Supreme Court did not order the release of anybody.
There is an order from Honorable.
I hope this Parliament is persuaded
Madam Speaker, I'm at pain
as the Ministry of Justice
that we are in arguments with the Minister of Justice.
We did our duty. We responded very quickly
of the law
because these letters which we wrote
we are here
instead
of the Minister of Justice coming here to
now
tell us
the Supreme Court did not order the release of anybody.
There is an order from Honorable to defend what is
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, we expect the Minister of Justice that we are in argument with the Minister of Justice. Expect him to behave. We are supposed to be the custodian of the law. But if you are also coming here to behave like the chairman of the court martial, we are at pain. The Minister of Justice coming we are at pain, Honorable Minister. We are at pain. We are doing is standing Madam Speaker, is it in order for the Minister, Madam Speaker, who is a member of Parliament, the Minister of to come here to behave instead of debating like a minister, is debating like the chairman of the court martial? Is it in order, Madam Speaker, here to behave like the chairman of the court martial? We are at pain.
Honorable members.
We are at pain, Honorable Minister. We are at pain. Madam Speaker, is it in order for the minister, who is a member of parliament, to come here and instead of debating like a minister, is debating
and
like
secondly,
the chairman of the court martial? Is it in order, Madam
which
Speaker?
is not there to keep somebody in
Honourable
detention.
members,
When
Honourable
somebody
members,
is on pre-trial,
honourable members, we need to solve a problem.
and the problem we need to
Honourable
solve
Minister of Internal Affairs
is about an ailing person.
under what
And
instruments
secondly, using a law
are
which
you
is not
using to hold
there to keep
Dr.
somebody
Kizza
in
Besigye in
detention.
prison?
When somebody is on pre-trial,
Honourable Minister of Internal
Right, Honourable
Affairs,
Speaker and Honourable
under what
members,
instruments are you using to hold Dr. Kizza Besigye in prison?
understand the background to this matter, and I don't envy the Honourable Mao, Right Honourable Speaker, for being and Honourable in this position. But I want also us to be, as we seek a solution, within the law, understand. I think we have about 3 matters to address. There is the health aspect matter of Dr. Besigye, and I don't envy. But also there is wait a minute. I think we should be civilized enough to but I want also us to be, as we seek a solution, there's also the law, the issue of the exercise of rights. We have and the extent to which you can go, which really is an individual aspect discretion, Dr. Besigye, in this case of Dr. Besigye. But also there is wait a minute. I think we should be civilized enough to listen to each other. So, Right Honourable Speaker, there's also, as we address this question, the issue of the exercise of rights and the extent to which you can go, which really is an individual discretion, say so, in this case of Dr. Besigye, going back and forth. And then the last one, we need to craft a solution around the processes. For now, I want to report decision. Like the Honourable Minister said, Right Honourable Speaker, the health aspects of Dr. Besigye, as we address this question, I would want us to reconcile all the 3. Yesterday,
Honourable Minister,
yesterday,
honourable members, just hold on,
going back
honourable
and forth,
ministers.
and
Honourable Minister is bringing a very important point that we need
like
to
the
get a way to
Minister
solve
said,
this problem.
the health
and
aspects
that is
of
what
Dr.
we
Besigye
want.
are being addressed.
We want a problem solved. And it's
Yesterday,
has to a better
Honourable
direction.
Minister,
Yesterday,
yes. Honourable members, just
yesterday,
hold on.
Yes,
Honourable ministers. Honourable Minister is bringing a very
Minister
important
of
point. Internal Affairs.
that we need to get a way to solve this problem. And that is what we want. We want a problem solved.
Right Honourable
And it's
Speaker,
leading us to a better
members,
direction.
like I said, we need to reconcile all the 3. I had the occasion also to
Honourable
speak
Minister.
to Commissioner General, and he said yesterday
Honourable
they took
Minister
the
of
doctor to
Internal Affairs.
the clinic of his choice, and Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable members,
Honourable members,
like I said, we need to reconcile
I
all
am
the 3.
still asking.
I had the occasion also to speak to Commissioner General, and he said
you know, I've
yesterday
asked
they
a
took
question.
the doctor to
I am saying under
clinic
which
of his
instrument are you allowing to
And
keep somebody in your cells? That is your property. Basically that. And that's what the Honourable Minister is
Honourable
saying.
members,
We need to sit
I am
down
still
and reconcile
asking
and see how best
under
this
Right-
can be.
Right Honourable
You know, I've
Speaker,
asked a question. I am saying under which
until the
instrument
processes
are you allowing to keep somebody in your
around
cells?
affecting the court
That is your
decision,
property.
yes.
the doctor is still
Basically
in
that.
custody,
And that's what
according
the
to
Honourable Minister is saying. We
Exactly.
need
the
to
order
sit
that
down
took him
and
there.
reconcile and see how best this can be
Right Honourable
handled.
Speaker,
Lop.
until the
Honourable
processes
members,
around effecting the court decision,
yes.
the doctor is still in custody according
Yes.
to
Right Honourable Speaker,
Exactly.
the order
I thank
that
you.
took there.
Right Honourable Speaker, this morning
Lop.
I had a meeting
Honourable
with colleagues
members.
on this side, and to be honest, we were getting increasingly concerned Right Honourable about Speaker, this our people I thank centered you. parliament, because these are matters of the people and we are clearly getting Right Honourable Speaker, agitated. this morning I am I had glad, a Right meeting Honourable with Speaker, colleagues that on this side We are now in unison. To be honest, we were getting increasingly concerned because we have raised it severally. People-centered parliament. Severally, and these are matters of the people, and we are clearly getting agitated. I am glad, Honourable Speaker, that this people-centered parliament was appearing as such, dealing with this matter. There's only two ways, because we have raised it severally, in any government jail. We did not seem to see an end in sight. When you have been convicted, we did not think that this people-centered parliament, whether it be to life or whichever number of years, legally speaking. Number two, is when you have been remanded that somebody can be held by a court of competent in any government jail. Those are the only two ways under which you have been in any convicted jail and sentenced. It is not whether it be to life or whichever number of years, legally speaking. Number two, some kind you have been remanded or I don't know what by a court of competent. It is only those two legally provided. Those are the only two ways under which somebody can be in any government jail. We have asked again and again after the Supreme Court decision, as some which rendered the court martial defunct. I don't know what it ceased to be. It is only those two legally provided for me. That's one. For those who know the law, Honourable Speaker, we have asked. We kept asking. Why has government continued to rendered the court martial? Those are questions we have not gotten any answers to, Honourable Speaker. It ceased to be. Honourable Speaker, the excuse by the Honourable Chairman Mao, we cannot hold any water at all. Why has government that the lawyers on those questions we have not gotten any answers to, Honourable Speaker? A decree. Honourable Speaker, the Attorney General, whom you supervise, Honourable Chairman Mao, was the party to this matter. Does not hold. He is the one who appealed this matter. That so the lawyers give an excuse. You see, we did not know what was happening. We were in our chambers waiting for these lawyers whom you supervise, Chairman Mao. Instructed decree. Are you kidding me? To this matter, you were party to this matter. You are the ones who went to the Supreme Court. You see, we did not know what was happening. We were in our chambers waiting for these lawyers to come and your chambers, the instructed decided to appeal this matter. You were party to this matter. You are the ones who went to the Supreme Court. The Court of Appeal. I am glad you have this matter, as all of us have. This is your chamber, sir. Partisan matter. To appeal this matter. How do you then feign? I've given several examples, and I'm sorry, my colleague. I keep referring to you. I don't know if he's here. Honourable Paul Akamba. I'm glad you have mentioned, as all of us have. That man was granted bail by a court of competent matter. At least it should be. And he was kidnapped. I've given several examples. I'm sorry, my colleague. I keep referring to you. I don't know. By Honourable Paul Akamba, who is an NRM within court precincts. That man was granted bail by a court of competent. He's not an opposition member. He's an NRM member. Kidnapped. But it happened to him. That's what happens when you don't deal with injustices. Gun-wielding goons. And by the way, Honourable Speaker, these abductions continue to happen. He's not an opposition leader within my party or head of mobilization. When you deal with the one Fred Nyanzi said. By the way, Honourable Speaker, these abductions in similar manner. And we're saying these things should stop because they are within the control of the state. The one Fred Nyanzi said was abducted in similar manner. The ultimate remedy. And we're saying these things should stop because they are within the control of the state. We are putting our foot down. Honourable Speaker, Parliament here is the ultimate remedy where we are going to fight our battles. One, I'm glad that as Parliament we can use all other spaces we have out there, Parliament here, radios, TVs, and so on. Is where we are going to fight our battles. Parliament, this is our. I know we can use all other spaces we have out there, and we shall use it to fight for our people. But as members of Parliament, this is now that we have talked about the fighting space, ailing health, and we shall use it to fight for our people. Honourable Speaker, now that we have talked about get out of bed to come and see us, very frail. But we saw the other political prisoners, Bobby Youngs and others, who are suffering get out of bed to come and see us. Can the state give us a timeline? The other political prisoners on when they are going to release these people who are suffering in similar manner. That is the ultimate remedy. Give us a timeline. Because the excuse there has been, obviously, we are waiting for the DPP to take over. That is the ultimate remedy. You're not supposed to direct the DPP. The excuse there has been, obviously, we are waiting for the DPP to take over these cases. One, you're not supposed to direct the DPP. If the DPP is interested in any matter, the DPP should have been released. The DPP does not sanction court files. Because the DPP sanctions police files. The DPP does not sanction. So you cannot say the DPP is waiting for these court files to be transferred from the disciplinary court. So you cannot say the DPP is waiting for these court files to be transferred from. That does not arise at all. These people ought to have been released a long time ago. That does not arise at all. And then the DPP could probably sanction any police file a long time ago. And they can be summoned. They don't even have to be kidnapped. Could probably sanction any police file. So right, Honourable Speaker, they don't even have to be kidnapped. The solution to this squandary. So right, Honourable Speaker, that we are grappling with. The solution to this squandary, this predicament, and all of these other NUP political prisoners that are being held illegally. Other NUP I'm hoping that government will see sense in that. Are being held illegally. I'm hoping that government will see sense in that.
Honourable members, honourable members, honourable members, Honorable members,
Speaker,
honorable members, this is a very serious matter. Honorable members, you know, people like Bariomus cannot even go to their villages. You know, people like Bariomus cannot even go to their villages. Why have you left your own? Why have you left your own? Honorable members, honorable members, honorable members, I want a leader of government business. I want a leader of government business. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. I want us to have a session. I want us to have a session. A leader of government business. A leader of government business. Government chief whip. Government chief whip. Chris Bariomusi. Honorable Chris Bariomusi. Honorable Mao. Honorable Muhosi. Honorable Muhosi. The Attorney General. The Attorney General. And then on this side, we have the LOP, Shadow Attorney General, the cow, Mujuche, Honorable Mujuche, Honorable Katuntu, Honorable Asumani, Honorable Sivambi, listen, Honorable, you're not going to choose for me. These are issues of legal. And the issues of life. We must make decisions there and come and report. And then Honorable Nandala. Yeah? You don't want Nandala? Okay. We can have internal affairs. Honorable members, we are going to adjourn the house for 10 minutes. We will have a meeting in the private. Okay. We are going to suspend the house. We can have suspend the house. Internal affairs for 10 minutes. Internal affairs, and then we'll come and honorable report. Members, if the 10 minutes is not enough, honorable members, communicate. We are going to adjourn for meeting in the private hour. Rule 8 gives the speaker all the powers. We are going to suspend the house. Suspend the house for 10 minutes, and then we'll come and report. If the 10 minutes is not enough, we shall still communicate. No worry for time. Time is on our Rule 8 gives the speaker all the powers.
That is it for today in Parliament. The issue is about the detention of Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye. The Supreme Court gave the order all political prisoners, Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye and others who are being tried in the court Parliament. The issue is about the detention of Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye. The Supreme Court taken or transferred to the order all political prisoners, Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye and others who are being tried in the court martial must be or be released, because the military court is not there in law. It's not there. Taken or transferred, it's just a mockery. But till now, those political prisoners are not freed. Even Dr. Kiza Besigye is not free. If they have his life is deteriorating. Or that's the gist because the military court is not there. It's not there. It's just a mockery. But till now, those political prisoners are not free. Even Dr. Kiza Besigye is not freed. And his life is deteriorating. That's the gist today in Parliament. I will to say, nobody pressure waliwo speaker alabye nti waliwo ekikyamu wano okuva mu kafubo speaker ndabye nga just abate bikyebigenda kwanga biddako abamugambye ajayogera ebyo atusanyuse now tongere nga badde babangwandikidde byalina okwogera leero eggwanga